Well, isn't it funny how quiet luxury was on its way out? It almost ran its course. And then suddenly the internet found Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy. And this time it's thanks to a new show, American Love Story, a series on JFK and Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy's love story, which has since sent social media into an absolute spiral, okay? CBK mood boards absolutely everywhere. But the craze does not end in New York, okay? There's also a craze happening over in Paris. Matthieu Blazy's Spring-Summer 26 collection at Chanel has officially hit stores. People flying to Paris to get their hands on these bags, queuing up around the corner. This level of excitement has not seen Chanel in, quite some time. And what's funny about all this and why I have a smile on my face is that not long ago, the conversation around fashion was the complete opposite of all this. What happened to being supposedly over trends? People were craving authenticity. They were craving individuality when it comes to their style, personality. And yet all it took was one TV announcement and a new collection to have us fall right back into the same cycle, chasing the same aesthetic, buying the same things, dressing the same way, and buying into the hype for the mere factor of buying into the hype. So you know what, in today's video, I thought we could talk about the contradictions of what is going on in fashion these days, because let me tell you, whatever was going on in February and March is something worth discussing. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Sabrina, and over here we talk luxury fashion every single Sunday. So if that is up your alley, you might like it over here. Subscribe for more luxury fashion content, and let's get into today's video. Okay, it's gonna be a discussion worthwhile, okay? Or I hope it is, at least. Like I said, this video is definitely going to be more of a discussion, okay? To be frank, there's no ending to this. We're always going to have trends, we're always going to have cycles in fashion, no matter how much we want individuality, okay? We can say that until the cows go home, is that the saying? Now first, let's touch on Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy, and for the fact that I'm going to say her name quite a bit in this video, I'm going to refer her as CBK. For research purposes, I did watch the show. Actually, I think I've only watched the first 5 episodes. However, you do not need to watch the show to know that she was the quintessential 90s icon, known for her very minimalist pieces, capsule wardrobe, think classic white shirts, classic black trousers, classic loafers, classic anything. No jewelry, very clean cut, very good tailoring, you get the gist. A lot of the show actually focuses a lot of her time at Calvin Klein. If you don't know, she worked at Calvin Klein for, I would say, a good majority of her career, and I think the show really focuses in on that because of that 90s minimalism. Calvin Klein at the time, and you know what, even still to this day, is the epicenter of 90s fashion. Since the show has premiered, the internet has now taken Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy's style and transform that into almost a CBK trend. Suddenly we have dress like CBK, CBK outfit formulas, how to have the capsule wardrobe like CBK. But ironically, this misses the whole point because CBK was the epitome of effortless. She didn't chase trends, she actually probably hated trends. And she definitely wasn't chasing an aesthetic that other people can copy. She was also very famously private, so I think the idea of millions of people copying her style would probably be her worst nightmare. Again, I don't know, but I'm going to assume. Nonetheless, whether you like her very minimal style or not, she was a style icon back then and still is to this day. The internet is just having a field day on her style right now. But what I find particularly very amusing and quite interesting is the timing on this. Quiet luxury as a whole was, I would say, on its way out in 2026. In fact, people were like, absolutely not to this neutral aesthetic. Give us some color, give us personality, individuality, like I was saying. Minimalism is out. Okay, we want extravaganza, we want maximalism. And then CBK heard the rumblings of quiet luxury being on its way out and said, absolutely not. So can we say that quiet luxury is now resurging or is having its moment right now? Arguably, I think yes. But if anything, I don't feel like quiet luxury or old money aesthetic or minimalism is ever going to go out. I just merely think that the CBK trend and styling like CBK, that is more so a trend than minimalism in itself, if that makes sense. I think of minimalism as a style that is always going to be amongst us versus the way that we are styling ourselves to be CBK, that I think is more of a trend, or quite honestly, a micro trend. However, there is an extra layer to all of this. a layer that I think we talk about a lot on this channel. A layer that I think will bring back any dying trend: nostalgia. Yes, we talk about nostalgia quite a lot on this channel, and there is a reason behind that. Because nostalgia sells, my friend. Because nostalgia practically collapses time and makes it into an emotion. It makes you feel. It pulls you back into a time that you can't physically go back to, but you can feel it through that bag, shoes, piece, whatever it might be. And people love that. People eat that up, myself included. Now we know by now that fashion is cyclical. What was trendy 10 years ago is likely going to be trendy in 10 years time as well. But I think brands, and especially media, heavily rely on the 90s because it is easy to monetize. Because if you think about it, 90s aesthetic is very sellable. You have classic trousers, you have classic shirts, very classic tailoring, all of which are classic, very timeless pieces that transcend years and years and years, and quite frankly are all pieces that everyone needs. These pieces are so easy to brand as timeless or capsule, even repackaged as modern minimalism. Pieces like the classic coat or the classic white t-shirt are never going to go out of style anyways. They are in fact staples, but a key part of selling those staples is referencing them as 90s minimalism. So when a show like American Love Story brings back Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy into the conversation again, a style isn't just revived, but it revives an entire aesthetic that can essentially be sold as a product. I mean, look at Calvin Klein dressing Sarah Pidgeot, who plays Carolyn Bessette in Love Story, at the Vanity Fair Oscar party just recently. I think it was like, what, 2 days ago? At first, I was like, oh, that is so well played, but it is entirely strategic. And yet suddenly we're all back to square one. We're all back to the side of the internet where minimalism is cool again. People are dressing like CBK, and they're wearing an outfit formula that they once said that they were very tired of. Even publications like InStyle and Vogue now have their CBK formula set up in a way that you can just shop the entire wardrobe, effectively turning her style into a shopping template, which I'm sure she'd be ecstatic over. At the same time of people being absolutely crazed over Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy's style, we also have people going crazed for Matthieu Blazy's new Chanel. Recently, Matthieu Blazy's first collection hit stores. Now, this was a collection that we saw back in September of last year for the Spring/Summer 26 collection. And people have been gearing up. They have been preparing ever since to get their hands on a Matthieu Blazy Chanel piece from his first collection. Okay, it's very important, from the first collection. And you know what? I get it. I get it. You go off and go get that bag. But what is very important to note in all of this is that the collection first debuted in Paris. You know what? It makes sense. Chanel is a French fashion house, a maison. We understand, okay? The rest of us people that are not in France, we must wait. Rude. But that did not get people to not be buying into the new Chanel craze. No, because it had people flying from around the world, okay? Flying 30 hours. I don't know, I saw that on someone's TikTok, 30 hours, okay? 30 hours. I expect craze when it comes to any new creative director at any fashion house. But did I expect people to be taking planes, trains, and automobiles to go get a piece from the new collection, from a new creative director? No. And that's on me. That is totally on me. There were queues wrapping up around Chanel stores, and I don't think, I could be wrong on this, but I don't think Chanel has seen this level of craze in what is probably a very long time. Things were selling out on first day, okay, it probably left people crying that they did not get a bag, but the craze did not stop the second that someone got their bag and left the store. No. The craze quickly took to social media, and what is more viral than a fly with me 30 hours to go get the new Chanel Matthieu Blazy shopping tote? Nothing. The people, me, are sat, okay? I'm watching. Give us the content. No wonder it went viral, I understand. Because it's not just a bag, it's a Matthieu Blazy Chanel bag. A beginning of a new chapter almost, which is true, actually. I'm not even trying to be dramatic. And if you go back in time a little bit to when Matthieu Blazy was first appointed as artistic director at Chanel, it was almost like a cultural shift. People were very excited immediately. And I think a lot of that comes down to Blazy's reputation. His work at Bottega Veneta, I think, reassures him that he is an incredible designer. If anything, I think he's actually one of the best in our time. Thought, design that goes into his pieces, that maybe people would argue that they did not see in Virginie, who was the previous artistic director at Chanel. When Chanel was under the direction of Virginie Viard, it was still successful, but I think it was still very much playing it safe. And I think it got to a point where people just wanted more. They wanted to push the limits. But where I think things get really interesting is around the level of hype, where now the hype, now the norm is spending 10K on a bag. This shopping tote that I love and adore, there actually is a couple Chanel bags that I absolutely love and I would love to have in my collection, all of which really start at 10K or at least 10K Canadian, which is similar pricing point to the Hermes Birkin. And if you think about it, there's also this narrative right now on social media that, you know, the Birkins are fatigued. We've seen too much Birkins. That's a whole different story for another day. Now in the end, Chanel is thriving, okay? They're living for this moment. They've been waiting for this moment for the past 5 years at least. But I see similarities between CBK and Chanel. And if you put two and two or put them both together or side by side, they're not actually all that different. In both cases, the internet essentially takes what is a real person's style or what a fashion house could be and makes that into a clear, digestible idea, one that the average consumer can understand. Because you see, Carolyn is not just a person, but she's also a CBK trend, a quiet luxury formula, a minimalist's dream. And then when it comes to Chanel, we're now getting fun Chanel, the return of Chanel. Back in Karl Lagerfeld's days when Chanel was really, really fun, we now have that back. In both situations, social media has almost formulated them into trends of some degree. The CBK trend, the come get ready with me to go buy a Matthieu Blazy bag in Paris trend. Content that everyone can now participate in, even if they are not buying the piece, which I think is very important, which is also the biggest irony in all of this. Because once again, if you look at what fashion or what people want in fashion is they want authenticity, they want individuality. How many times do I have to say it? They want personality. But the way that they engage with fashion says otherwise. It says the complete opposite. It's still fast, it's still reactive. I mean, there's been so many times where I have felt like luxury fashion almost feels like fast fashion. I mean, look at the amount of collections that Matthieu Blazy has to pump out at Chanel. Bless his heart. But most importantly, it is all driven by hype, this fear of missing out. Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy, who was once known for her individuality and restraint, is now portrayed as this outfit formula for people to replicate because they can. Whereas Chanel, a brand that is built on timelessness, has become most recently a brand that demands urgency, a brand that if you don't buy now, you are not part of the fashion crowd. The conversation is so eager to shift to authentic style, yet the behavior stays the exact same. And something that I think we should all be very self-aware of, because I think it's important to hold ourselves accountable, okay? Reel ourselves in, get real with ourselves, and ask ourselves, do we really like this piece, or do we really like this piece just because it's very hyped up right now? Because when everything gets labeled as an aesthetic or a moment that you feel like you need to participate in, it gets very hard to distinguish what exactly is your personal style. Because I get it, okay? The hype is real. The hype can have that effect of pulling us in. Trends will always exist. I mean, this is fashion. But what is most important to know is that not every trend is worth participating in, getting caught in the hype, or buying into just because everyone else is buying into, especially when it comes to a 10K Chanel bag. Sometimes it's best to observe from afar and to take it all in from afar. Anyways, that is all that I have for today's video. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts and opinions because I'm dying to know. There's been a lot going on in the past couple months in the fashion space and I would love to know what you're thinking. That being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. It truly does mean the absolute most to me. And I'm gonna leave you guys here with another video recommendation in case you want to watch more, and I will see you guys in next Sunday's video. Until then, I hope you have the utmost fabulous day ahead. Bye guys.